The only girl in the huddle today because I got Eddie Scott from On the Mat with me today in studio, and I got Marshawn Powers, who is always a guest host, always on Her in the Huddle with me in studio today. These two fine, strapping young men. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Great. Thanks for having me again. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I'm always good. I'm always good.
Yeah. All right. Good. So first of all, we have a very special guest. We have Rod Lemons from Bridge Elite Global, and he right now is in South Africa. So we're going to get started with him because it is a little late over there in South Africa, and we know that he wants to get into bed soon. And Rod, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing excellent, Rachel. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, absolutely, no problem. And what is the temperature over there like in South Africa right now? Because in Cleveland, Ohio, it's about 75 degrees, but it's a chilly 75 degrees. What is the weather over there like in South Africa right now?
Well, we've been in about the mid 80s, low 90s over the last few weeks. They're transitioning into their spring right now versus the fall in the US. So that's something I've learned in the last couple of years in the flip flop of the seasons.
Oh, really? Spring?
Yes, yes, spring. So in December, it is very hot here from what I've told.
Oh, really? When
Yes.
does when does winter happen?
Our winter solstice, December 21st, will be their first day of summer.
Oh, wow. Isn't that something? Well, Rod,
Yes, yes.
why don't you start off by telling our audience a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, yeah, Rachel, I'm a former basketball player from Cleveland, Ohio. Graduated from Beechwood High School. Just recently went back to Cleveland State University in 2017 and completed my undergrad degree in urban studies and received also my my master's in education for sports management was the focus. So I founded an organization called Bridge Foundation back in 2006 in England. Bridge is an acronym for Building Relationships, Inclusion, Diversity, Growth, and Excellence. So we've launched a new venture here in South Africa during the pandemic, and I came over in March with Bridge Elite Global now. My co-founder here is Zangi Gumedi. She's also co-founder of Asemi Women's Economic Liberty. So we're focusing on putting on a nice basketball event for the HBCU colleges here next August of 2023. And we'll be bringing over a couple of teams, Hampton University, Shaw University, and they'll be competing in an exhibition against local teams here in Johannesburg.
And you also have some programming that's taking place because this is going to be an amazing event. In my understanding, it got pushed back due to the global pandemic, but it's taking place next year. Can you tell about some of the programming that you have also that's going to be a part of this basketball summit?
Absolutely, Rachel. Thanks for asking that as well. So we want it to be more than just a basketball tournament. Everybody growing up, I think that's a sports fan, watched the Maui Classic in Hawaii. So we wanted something, an event akin to the Maui Classic, however, in the motherland for the HBCU schools. But we also don't want to limit it to only the HBCU schools. We want to also invite non-HBCU institutions. So the planning of this event is going back for about 2 years now. The programming that we have, aside from the basketball games, we'll have a women's empowerment panel discussion. That'll be headed up by Ms. Zangi Gumedi with Asemi Women's Economic Liberty. We'll also have a couple of honorees, Ms. Michelle Roberts, formerly of the NBA Players Association, in addition to Ms. Cheryl Cook, all-time leading scorer for the University of Cincinnati. And she played overseas and scored over 38 points a game in various countries. So the Women's Empowerment Panel discussion will have a theme of education, employment, empowerment, equality, and equity in the sports and business fields. Jennifer Williams of USA Basketball has expressed interest to participate on the panel discussions. We also have Rusha Brown, formerly of the WNBA and worked in the NBA's front offices, working on that as well. We have a local young lady by the name of Miss Sandra TK. She works with an organization called Stress Exchange. So she'll head up the mental health symposium that we'll have in addition to the women's empowerment panel discussion. We have some NBA players that will participate in that portion, that component of the venue as well. Then we'll have a business expo in addition. So we have some educational items for the students in addition to just the basketball. ESPN Africa has expressed interest to partner with us. The games will be broadcast on ESPN, and then we'll have some excursions and some game drives that the students will get an opportunity to attend throughout South Africa while they're here.
That's a lot of amazing things that are going to be taking place. And what are some of the schools that are going to be participating in the basketball tournament?
Yes, the Hampton Pirates, led by Coach Buck Joyner, they'll be in attendance. The Shaw University, they'll be in attendance, led by Coach Collins, Bobby Collins. Then we'll have the University of Johannesburg locally, the University of Sport South Africa, which is a kind of an all-star team, elite players comprised of players from Johannesburg. We have the MBB club coming from Durban, South Africa, led by Coach Lindo Simbakulu. I hope I said that correctly. He just educated me on the pronunciation of his last name. And then we also have the Scorpion Wanderers program locally here as well that'll participate. So that team was led in the past by Mr. Kwame Ndaka, who's now with NBA Africa. So we have a host of great teams to participate. Then also we're in discussions right now, Rachel, with adding the University of Cincinnati and Memphis University. So also in Morgan State. So we haven't closed the door on adding additional teams. That window will close by the 7th of December, and then we'll have our set roster. But Hampton, Shaw, and the other 4 teams have already committed, and they will be participating.
And how did this idea for this tournament and everything that's going to be taking place come about?
Okay, so while you mentioned earlier we were going through a global pandemic, just a short while ago, and so there was a lot of ambiguity going around in circles with people, and so one of my former coaches, Gerald White at Tennessee Chattanooga, we were having some think tanks with former basketball players that are now coaches and trainers across the U.S. And so in these discussions that we were having, many different ideas came about. And I was introduced to a source over at ESPN, my contact there. And this gentleman wanted me just to focus on one thing because we had a lot of things on the table. And so this event turned out to be that one thing that, we focused on, and now we're moving forward. And so I have a host of former teammates, Mario Hansen from Tennessee Chattanooga, who's participating. His son plays for Chris Paul's elite EYBL AAU team in the summertime. So he's a top recruit. And so it's, a great situation to get together some of the guys that you grew up playing with college, winning championships with, or you were coached by these guys. And now we have an opportunity to deliver a program for the next generation of youth here in Africa, which we are the only African tour out of the U.S. So I'm proud for that because, it's historic for us.
And how big is basketball in South Africa?
Well, it's definitely growing right now. This is my first time coming here to South Africa in March of this year. I've been here since then. I've returned to the U.S. only once, but basketball is huge here. They love it. It's wild because some of my guys don't understand the rules here specifically. So it's cool to get a chance to teach them some of the rules because their primary sport is soccer and rugby and some of those other sports, but basketball is definitely growing here. NBA Africa is doing a phenomenal job with the NBA Academy and Basketball Without Borders. So there's so many opportunities for the youth here at a grassroots level. And so we're just filling in the gaps, so to speak, with our organization and bringing a college component for the U.S. players to participate and compete against South African players.
Hey, Ron, this is Eddie from On the Mat. Actually, I coach rugby, so it's
Hey,
brother rugby and I love what you guys are doing over there with the basketball organization. I have a
Thank
question for
you.
you though. So being that it's you're growing right now, and I know you said named a couple great schools actually, and to be an HBCU alum myself, it's like I'm rooting for you big time. So
Thank you.
let me ask you though, like with this journey that you're on, like what made you say, you know what, I'm going to take this journey and run with it. I know you say you spoke
Well,
with. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know you say you spoke with like some of your sources at ESPN, and the pandemic kind of stopped it, but like what made you feel like, you know what, this is something I want to teach the world, like, you know.
Well, I played basketball in England in Lincolnshire County back in 2006. And so I had some former college classmates and friends and associates that were from Africa, and I always wanted to visit, but all of those people were in the US or in England and other areas. So I didn't know anybody that was physically here to come visit. And a
Yeah.
part of me always wanted to come. And so an associate of mine, Ronaldo Gates, introduced me to a young lady here in South Africa. So she and I spoke and kept in contact over the 2 years of the pandemic. And once I was allowed to come to South Africa, as a USA citizen. I was on the first plane here, and we had already put our business model into place, which is really a revised model of what I was doing in England. And so we just felt it was the right time. I've serviced players in England, I've serviced players in the US, but I haven't serviced our own people, our true roots in Africa. In the US, we talk about Africa a lot, but have we been there? Have we experienced it? Have we really engaged the people here on their land? And so they received me with open arms. It's been nothing but a phenomenal opportunity. And so, it was just a matter of, getting here. And so once I got here in March, we've just been working diligently and, putting this plan together. It got delayed by some unforeseen, power issues here, but we've learned what we need to put in place in terms of having our generators wherever we're going to have our players at so that we don't have any interruptions. And I think the postponement of the event to next August has really been a blessing in disguise because we've added some strong talent to the venue. So we're looking to do this long term with ESPN. We also have Sirius XM Radio. Mr. Lamont Germany, he'll be covering the event with the Historical Sports Radio Network. Also, we have interest from a professor, Mr. Edward Robinson from Morgan State University. And he's going to be bringing over 4 to 5 journalist students that'll be covering the event as well. They have a network called Bear TV that has over 2 million viewers. ESPN Africa and their network, over 16 million household viewers. So we're very excited, of the potential and the opportunities that we have, not just for Bridge Elite Global, but also for the students that'll engage this program over the next 5 years.
Wow, man, that's absolutely amazing. Like just to
Thank you.
just to hear that, man, it just got me excited though, for real. Like I'm rooting for y'all, and I hope that this is not just a one-time event. I hope it is a yearly event, or even come every 6 months type of thing. But that's big, especially bringing something that, like you said, is new to them. Like their basketball is not their love. Like we know football is an American love, but football over there is their love. So to bring that to them and to teach them something new, that's big, man. So congratulations again, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That was going to be one of my questions for you, Rod, as well, is what's next after this tournament in South Africa? What's next for you? What are you targeting next?
Well, some developments. I can't really divulge all the details, but I'm working with Meta World Peace, Ron Artest, right now on his new marketing firm. X vs. X Sports is the platform. And what we'll be doing is bringing players globally to this platform to compete and have opportunities to showcase their abilities. Everybody's not cut out for the college scene, but that doesn't mean that everybody shouldn't have an opportunity to play basketball professionally because they're not suited for college, so to speak. So this platform will also give players locally opportunity to, show their games, live stream, sponsored by Boost Mobile, kind of bragging rights with their buddies, wherever they may be. And this league will also provide opportunities for travel globally to compete against others. So I'm excited to work on that project as well. And our event, Ballin' in the Bush Safari Classic, will be under the umbrella of the Artest Management Group. So very excited about that.
Awesome. One of the things I wanted to ask you was, you said you got your master's in sports management from Cleveland State University, and I got mine as well a long time ago in 2005. Did you have Dr. Eddie Lamb as one of your professors?
Absolutely, I did. Dr. Lamb was he taught me everything I know about statistics, and analysis and doing research. Not everything I know about statistics, but, he really took me to another level there in doing different studies. And we had a great time with Dr. Lamb. That was my first research course. And he actually was going to be a part of this opportunity, but the pandemic really kind of soiled opportunities in communication because there was just so much ambiguity of what was going on. But yes, I know Dr. Eddie Lamb. He's a great guy.
That's my boy. Best teacher I think I ever had in college, in undergrad and graduate school. So yes, he is amazing. If you need any help from over here, us on Her in the Huddle, we are, we ready to send that attention for any help that you might need. Like I said, I got my master's in sports management. So, give me a call. I'm on the first thing smoking.
Passport.
I got a passport too. But what you're doing is amazing. And how can people reach out to you? How can they follow you? What's your social media and stuff like that?
Sure. So on Instagram, I can be followed at Bridge Baller. That's Bridge BRIDGEBALLA 24. Or at Bridge Elite Global on any other social media platforms. My email is bridgeelite@outlook.com. And then our website is www.bridgesports.net. And that sports is with an S at the end. So bridgesports.net for all updates about the event, Ballin' in the Bush Safari Classic.
Is there anything you feel like we didn't touch that you wanted to get out?
Well, I want to send a special thanks first out to Ms. Zangi Gumedi, my co-founder here in South Africa, for everything she's done with us. We've received endorsements from the Ministry of Governance and Traditional Affairs that she put together for us. Also with the Ministry of Sports, Arts, Culture, and Recreation at the provincial and the national level. And I also want to thank Mr. Devin Green. He's a scout now. Congratulations to him, new scout with the Sacramento Kings. He is our ambassador for the HBCU to the NBA and the Basketball Africa League, which he played in all three leagues. And we're fortunate to have him on our team as well. And then Mr. Tony Reed, he's our kind of behind the scenes. He gets everything done for us, communications on the USA side. And then just a host of others. A lot of people have been very instrumental in helping us put this together. All of the people over at ESPN, Ron Artest and his talented core team members that he has with Artest Management Group. And then people like yourself, Rachel Hill, and helping us get the message out. Oh, and last but not least, the man who's put this together for me, Mr. Ronnie Duncan. He has been so instrumental and helping us with this event and connecting the dots behind the scenes with different individuals over with CBS Sports. So those are all the people I wanted to name. If I missed you, I'm sorry. But those are people that have really been instrumental in this event coming together. And I want to say shout out, hello to my daughter who I love much, Sydney Amore Lemons. Her birthday is on Thursday.
Oh, happy early birthday.
Yeah. She's a Scorpio.
Okay,
Scorpio. She'll be 23. Yeah.
It's Scorpio season, but ain't nothing like Capricorn season. So I'm just letting y'all know, God said there's only one sign that can bring you in and take you out of the year, and that's Capricorn. So get ready for Capricorn season. But Rod, we want to thank you so much. I know it's 12 o'clock over there, so we want to thank you for staying up and taking your time with us. But also, we look forward to having you on some more closer to the event so we can help promote it and, help support everything that you got going on and everything that you're doing.
Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate it. And we got courtside seats for you for the event for next year, so you're all locked in.
Oh, I'm loving that. I've never been to Africa before, so I love to get on the first thing smoking and get out there.
Oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna fall in love when you get here. It's not what we were taught growing up. We were lied to. This is a hidden gem.
Yeah, I heard it's a very beautiful place.
Yes.
What's the weather gonna be like in August?
It should be about in the 80s. In the 80s.
Okay. No matter what.
It's still hot.
It should be in the 80s.
My family, we're from Africa, so it's still hot. We're from Nigeria, so it's
okay.
Kind of,
okay. Cool.
So I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
Yeah, good
Thank
stuff.
You.
Well, Rod, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and go to break, but that's Rod Lemons of Bridge Elite Global, who has the Ballin' in the Bush tournament coming up in August of next year, but we're going to have Rod on some more closer to the event as well. So thank you so much. You've been listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM, and we'll be right back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rod.
Thank you, Rachel. That was awesome. I appreciate you.
Oh, you're so welcome, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, we'll talk soon. You have a blessed day.
Okay, you too. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Dang, I forgot to record the show.
I ain't have nothing to ask me. I asked everything.
I would go over there if I can get a cheap flight.
I'm gonna say you find
It's
a good
expensive as hell to get into South Africa. You gotta pay that tax to get in. It's like $250 to get in and get out. You gotta pay it in South Africa and Ghana. It's a tax that you gotta pay to get in. I don't know if you gotta pay it in Nigeria, but it's a tax that you gotta pay to get into the city, just to walk into the city.
Oh wow!
It's like $250. A lot of people don't go there. That's that Chinese tax.
That's supposed to be Nigeria. That's colonized. That's what I know.
That's that
I mean, not Nigeria, South Africa, colonized.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports. And in studio with me today, I have Mr. Marshall Powers and Mr. Eddie Scott. I'm on the mat. Our Thursday show at 6 p.m. And fellas, we just had Rod Lemons on the show with us. And, he just talked about a wonderful event that I'm super excited for him about. And we got to go ahead and get into these Cleveland Browns. So I got to get y'all thoughts about the Cleveland Browns game that took place on Sunday. It was not a win. Right now, we're getting accustomed to not winning. We've lost 4 in a row. What are your comments and concerns on the Browns game that took place on Sunday?
It's always been what I thought it was. We don't have a leader amongst men. We got a guy who 2 years ago was hand gifted the coach of the year because he took the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs like anybody else in this room could have won. I think Kevin Stefanski is a little in over his head. You can sit here and say, "Oh, Joe Woods this, Joe Woods had a better performance Sunday. Kevin Stefanski didn't."
I'll give you that one.
He didn't.
I can actually agree with that argument right now.
He didn't.
Because normally it's the opposite of the way. Normally it's Joe Woods, but this Kevin Stefanski is showing me like you just said, he's above his head. You have again the greatest backfield that I have seen in so long. And you had Nick Chubb with only 13 carries.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it wasn't a lot.
Yes, he had 16 on the game.
He had 16 carries.
Kareem Hunt had 5 for 4 yards.
Correct. So you're not using what you have. Like you're putting and don't get me wrong, Jacoby Brissett didn't have a horrible game this game, but Why are you putting it in his hands? When the defense is showing that they need to slow the game down just a little bit. The defense is not as elite as we thought they were going to be.
But they played better this week.
They played a lot
They
better.
played a lot better.
But they're not as elite as we thought. And again, to me, it's schemes. It's total schemes. But Joe Wood did have a better performance as far as coaching this game. It wasn't the best performance. I'm not about to give him all the he's okay to keep coaching. No, he still need to go. But Kevin Stefanski needs to pack his bags with him. They both need to go.
Both need to go. Listen, at the end of the day, people can sit here and say what they want about Kevin Stefanski. Coming into this season without Deshaun Watson, it was a prove year for him. You got 3 good running backs and you only using 2. Jacoby Brissett, don't get me wrong. He, like you said, he didn't have a bad game, but at the end of the day, he should not be throwing 27 times. He should be throwing about 20 to 25 max, and that's 25 to me is if you really down bad and you really need him to throw.
He's a career backup quarterback, so why are you trying to play him like he's a starter? His job is to manage the game, and instead of you using him to manage the game, you're actually using him to actually try to win. Like, no, that's not his job right now. He's a backup quarterback for a reason. Nobody wanted him as a starter because he's a backup. Everywhere he went, he has been a backup who has become a starter because somebody got hurt. So therefore, he is a career backup quarterback, that's not a bad thing. But guess what? Use him as that. Quit trying to use him as he's a star quarterback in the league, and it's costing us these games. Like, are y'all trying to build up his stock so you can trade him off? Or I mean, what are y'all doing?
Well, man, when it comes to Jacoby Brissett, he's not going to be here next year. We have our backup quarterback, and it's going to be no, it won't even be Dobbs. It'll be the kid that they got from Minnesota.
You talking about
that they picked up on waivers? Yeah. That's going to be the backup quarterback. But at the end of the day, I feel like Jacoby is auditioning for another job, but he doesn't have to do much because next year there's not going to be any starting jobs available. Jacoby Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be on a different team next year. You're talking about there's a possibility that Daniel Jones could be on a different team next year. You're talking about there's a possibility Baker Mayfield could be on a different team next year. Those 3 guys that, if you want to argue Baker, 3 guys that are clearly better than Jacoby Brissett, who will have starting jobs elsewhere next year. And if you want to add in Houston with Davis Mills, that's 4 guys. So at the end of the day, there's really nothing for Jacoby Brissett to be auditioning unless you're auditioning for a high paid backup job.
That's what it looks like they're doing, like a high paid backup. Baker Mayfield is going to be another high paid backup. He ain't starting to work.
But remember, Jacoby Brissett was brought in here to only start 6 games.
Correct.
And, the suspension ended up being a little bit longer than that. So he was forced to be in a role that he was never supposed to play in the first place. Right. And who do you blame that on? You blame that on the Cleveland Browns or, Deshaun Watson or what have you. But he's being forced into a role he wasn't supposed to play.
Yes, you're right. He is in a role that he wasn't forced. But that's coaching. You knew this before the season started that he wasn't. And that goes to the upper office, too. You knew before the season started that he was suspended for 11 games. So, therefore, you knew that.
Well, they thought it was going to be 6.
Correct.
And it ended up being 6. But because of the public outcry, it ended up being
11.
Yeah.
And we already know that was some bull crap because since when have you ever known the league to ever suspend somebody for 11 games?
And get $5 million.
Well, to ask, for suspension to be longer than what originally it was. So you brought this woman in and then went against her recommendation. What was the point of even having her do this job in the first place if you're going to go against what she said? So that's a whole nother situation right there.
But you did that. You put them off for 11 games because the game you come back against his team. You brought them back against it. So I feel like this. If the Texans game was
week 6,
they wouldn't have brought him back.
They would have brought him back week 6.
Yep.
They would not have suspended him for longer.
Yep.
It was all about a money grab. They know that Texans game is going to be a money grab for the NFL. I ain't mad at you. I mean, I hate the fact that y'all suspended him longer, but We understand.
Darn you, NFL!
We understand.
Darn you!
It's business. Everybody knows the business.
Hey man, they got our hopes up, but all in all, it doesn't seem like they're allowing the Browns to have their cake and eat it too this year. You're not going to. I mean, it could all change. Come Monday. I still feel great about Monday. Stefanski got to show me. Zach Taylor ain't much of a smarter head coach than Stefanski.
I'm about to say, in this Monday game against the Bengals, there is no. I don't think the Bengals have a chance of beating us. And that what makes them have a chance is the same thing that make the reason why we're not 6-0 right now, coaching. So if our coaching is lackluster, then it's a good chance that we won't win that game. But honestly, I think the Browns could probably beat any team in the NFL if, and it's a big if, we had good coaching. We don't have good coaching. It's that simple.
Yeah, we don't have a coach putting players in positions to succeed.
We don't have a coach with a backbone. It doesn't seem like Stefanski seems too passive aggressive. He doesn't seem like that coach that if somebody get mad, slap a clipboard out his hand, or he show some. He seems like he's just. I'm not gonna say he doesn't care, but it looks like it.
Lackadaisical.
Yeah, it looks like it.
We need that. Like you said, we need that coach who won't
like Dan Campbell, be crazy.
Like Mike Tomlin type coach. I like Mike Tomlin. Like, yeah, he played for the enemy. He coached the enemy, but I think he's one of the best coaches in the NFL.
Mike Tomlin's so cool with it, though.
Cool, but it's still, I'm gonna give my respect.
I think Kevin is still figuring out how to be a coach and to strike that perfect balance.
Can't figure out with the Browns.
We should have. If you trying to figure out who to be a coach, why not just keep a guy like Hugh Jackson?
Yeah.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, we sat here and criticized. Well, I'm not gonna say we. No. Every Browns fan sat here and criticized Hugh Jackson for being terrible with a terrible roster, but we're praising a guy for being average with a great roster.
See, this is the thing. Like,
he's not even average.
And this is the bad
lower
part.
than average.
This is the bad part because, like you just said, we were dogging Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson's team was horrible.
Yeah, he had no talent.
Every year he had a horrible team, no talent. And then, like you say, you got this guy, as you just said, you got this guy in Stefanski with this amazing roster. Amazing roster. And you like, okay, like, dude, like, you gonna either put up or shut up, but right now you shutting up, so get rid of me.
Mm-hmm.
It's too many good coaches out here, like Kansas City's defensive
Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, get him. Don't let him pass up. Get him right now. He's hot.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all can wait. Somebody else gonna grab him, and then y'all gonna
hopefully.
I heard on the radio on the way here. I was listening to a show. They asked the question: does Kevin Stefanski, if let's say the Browns have a terrible record. I say the Browns don't win another game before Deshaun comes back. Does Kevin Stefanski, is his job safe, or he need to audition for his job in 6 games? I said if Kevin, I almost ran into a poll because I said if Kevin Stefanski is 2-9 by the time Deshaun Watson, he should not be the coach.
No,
I would Deshaun. If I'm Deshaun, I don't even want to play. There's no way I want to play if you're 2-9.
Because you're playing for nothing at that point.
2-9 by the time I come back, when you should like. There's no way you should be 2-9. Like, there is no way. But if you are, Stefanski shouldn't have a job by the time you turn 2-9. He should be fired before then. It's just that simple. If you're 2-9 by the time Deshaun Watson get back, you're fired. I'm sorry. Get out. Get rid of me. He's not that dude. And I kept saying this, like, we said this many times, and like I was when he won the Coach of the Year, I was so happy, but I didn't really believe in him because I'm like, yo, he would not give up the coaching position. He would not give up the offensive coordinating position. Like, dude, you can't be both. You're a brand new head coach. First time head coach. It's like you're a seasoned head coach. This is your first time ever being a head coach. Why do you want to be a head coach plus an offensive coordinator plus quarterback coach? Like, why do you want to be all that? Why do you want all those titles? So you can say, I did this myself? Like, that's narcissistic. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I've always said it was too much on his plate, and he needs to learn how to be a coach first before being an offensive coordinator, because that's too much. Yeah. You need to learn how to be a coach first. And then, years later down the line, I feel you can maybe call your own plays, but not to start off as a first-year head coach. I've always been against that.
Some Give y'all Andy Reid. Andy Reid used to be he used to call his own plays, plus play head coach. Andy Reid didn't do nothing. He didn't. I mean, great coach. Never won the championship. Soon as he got rid of that, soon as he handed that coaching off, that's what he started doing. Winning championship. Bill Belichick. When Bill Belichick was here in Cleveland, he was the same way. He called his own offense. As soon as he got rid of that, you know what? I'm going to quit calling my own offense. I'm going to let y'all do it. Give me an offensive coordinator. When you got Josh Daniels, won championships. The point
it also
is,
helped having Tom Brady, too.
But he would have won championships with Drew Brees. I mean, with Drew Bledsoe. So, I mean, we didn't think, let's be honest, nobody saw Tom Brady being Tom Brady. If you say you did, you're a liar. Nobody saw that Michigan dude coming out because he wasn't even that good at Michigan. So for him to come, well, other than Belichick who saw something in him, but the point is that all these guys, all these great coaches had good offensive coordinators. You know, you got the Saints who did the same thing with Drew Brees. You gave him a whole offensive coordinator. Like, so why do you feel as a brand new coach you can do what great coaches couldn't do? Come on, man. Like, get rid of him. He in over his head. Look at his play calling. His play calling is horrible. Like, you run first down, you getting pass. Like, if I was a defense coach, I'm watching once I watch one film tape, I know your whole offense.
Mm-hmm.
And then you try to trick with these tight end screens or, like, come on, man. I don't know. Y'all let me know.
It leaves you speechless. There is no explanation for it because you're watching the same thing week after week repeat itself. And like I said, it leaves you speechless. It leaves you without any answers. You're wondering, why are they not running the ball? You know, why is Jacoby throwing deep at times? You know, the 2 times he threw the deep balls to, Donovan Peoples-Jones, he had it, but you're hesitating a little bit because you don't know if it's a ball that's going to get intercepted. The defensive back is right there. So you don't know. Last week, usually Jacoby reserves his interceptions for the end of the game. Last week, he started off with an interception pretty much to begin the game. So you didn't know what you were going to get. Unfortunately, that Amari Cooper, he didn't have to push off, but he pushed off. It is what it is, but that would have been a 6 right there. But even still, my thing is, even if we scored, we still had 2 minutes left, and you didn't want to give Lamar 2 minutes with the clock running. There's quarterbacks that, absolutely can beat you. And I believe because of his track record against Cleveland, and I think Harbaugh's record is like 35 and like 8 against us or something. Something ridiculous.
And I don't make excuses, we lost, but one thing that I saw was that block field goal. It was the refs missed a couple things. First of all, they missed the offsides clear as day. Ravens was offside. That was one they missed. And 2, when he blocked the kick, it went down. It was 209 when he blocked the kick. It went out of bounds at 203, but they kept the clock running. Which is like, wait, whoa, the clock supposed to stop. We supposed to get 2 minute warning timeout. You feel me? Which would have gave us more time. When it gave us, like, I want to say, like 17 seconds, which would have gave us, which at the end of the game would have had enough time where we could have made that, kicked another field goal and possibly won. So it was a lot of things that I could blame on the refs, but it was like, you shouldn't put it in the refs' hands. Everybody know you'll put
and that's the thing. Yeah, like, that's the thing.
That's clear. It's a lot that I like. The Browns are starting to irritate me, but I still love them. But they irritate my soul.
They irritating all of our souls. But we'll go ahead and take a break. You're listening to Her in the Huddle, WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Did y'all see? You say you was busy all week. I was about to say, did you see Black Adam yet?
No. Is it good?
It was so good.
Really? It looked corny.
Only thing I didn't like was the slow motion. Like, they did a lot of slow motion.
Oh, really? Like the freeze frame?
No, like the Matrix, like slow. Like,
yeah.
I understand y'all trying to make it so you can show how fast this guy is, and that's fine. But it was a little too much. But other than that, man, it was a great storyline, great movie.
I still got to see The Woman King too.
That was a great movie too.
Not
A lot of
her.
people talk about it, but I'm like, dude, it tells you, like, I'm like, y'all must not been watching the same movie because it tells you how they were slave traders, and the whole point of the movie was they made their money from slave trade, that's a true story. And that's how they made most of their money. But at the end of the day, she was like, you know what, we're gonna stop slave trading and make our money by our other venues like our oils and all that. So let's try to get out the slave trade, and that's what the whole point was. I don't know if some people missed that part of the movie. Like maybe I need to go watch it twice or three times because she definitely talked about it. They ain't tell you all the truth about them being slave traders.
All right, welcome back to Her and the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports. Remember, you can always keep it locked here on your regular radio dial at 95.9 FM. You can download the WOVU app and you can listen to us on the go. And also, you can listen online at WOVU.org. And you can always call the station with any questions, comments, and concerns at 216-271-0959. And I'm here with Eddie Scott from On the Mat, our 6 p.m. show on Thursdays, and also Marshawn Powers, who guest co-hosts with me all the time on Her and the Huddle. And we were talking some NFL football. We were talking about the Cleveland Browns, and we are kind of speechless, which is, definitely not the norm for sports talk show hosts to got the words for the Browns have done, but wait until Monday night. We preview the Monday night matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals. And on Tuesday, we'll definitely have something to talk about. Hopefully, it'll be a victory Tuesday because the Browns have kind of owned the Bengals and swept them last year. So hopefully they can continue some of that same magic over the Bengals. But you guys, let's talk a little bit of Cleveland Cavaliers. The basketball season has started. Baseball is over. The Guardians had an excellent run, a fun run. Unfortunately, it ended when me and Eddie was doing the show last week on Monday. It ended while we literally were doing the show. So,
talk about it.
Huh?
You didn't want to talk about no highlights.
I know. I was like, don't tell me the score. I don't want to know. Don't play it anymore. So,
they had it coming, Rachel.
Huh?
They had it coming.
No, they did.
Yes, they did.
No, they did.
They didn't listen, Rachel. They didn't have no bats in the middle of the lineup that could get it. That could get it to that bar area. They had no bats.
They had 39 runners stranded.
I went to 2 playoff games. They had no bats that could get it to the beer spot. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They had it coming. The Yankees. It was the Yankees. It's okay.
Yeah, they left 39 runs stranded. So
if they would have had one more pitcher and went 4 pitchers deep instead of 3.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I called this one. I told you guys, like, I wanted them to win, but I didn't see it. I didn't see it happening. But I'm excited for next season, though. I'll tell you that. If we don't mess anything, if we don't make but we talking about the Dolans, so
they need to go get a loan. Go get a loan from that guy. Get a loan from that guy who just bought the team. Go get a loan. Get about $100 million.
Mm-hmm. Let's make it happen. I think next year will be. I think next year's our year, man. I'm not gonna say World Series, but I'm gonna definitely say it's a possibility if we just give. I think we need like maybe 1 or 2 more bets though, and then we definitely be in. Like I think that would definitely work.
Yeah, the bottom of that lineup, and also addressing the catcher situation, because you're really not getting anything from it. You're not getting anything defensively from it, and you're definitely not getting anything offensively from it. He's hitting 186. Right. It got to be better, especially he's at that end of the lineup, which you have the top and the middle of the lineup getting on base, but nobody to bring them home. Miles Straw has 0 home runs, so you have to look at it. Okay, well, is it his defense or do we need a bat? And I said we need a bat. Anybody can pretty much be a good defender and catch some balls in center field. So that's one of the things that you're going to have to address as well. The bottom of the lineup is just horrible.
It was ugly in the playoffs. This show.
Yeah, they had 39 stranded runners, and I think the Yankees had 23.
Yeah, we were talking about that on last week when we was looking at the spread like that. Dude, we had corners.
Mm-hmm. Bases loaded. And couldn't bring nobody home.
No outs though.
Yeah, and couldn't bring nobody home.
It was like, oh Lord, like this is bad.
Yeah, and we couldn't get to the Yankees bullpen, and unfortunately, with the rain delay and Major League Baseball moving that game to the next day, you notice that they didn't do that for Houston. They started the game at 9:00, and that's when the rain delay had started for us. That's when it was pretty much over. They went ahead and postponed the game for us, and we would have played against Jamison Talon, who is the weakest starter of all the Yankees. Absolutely.
That would have been a big difference, and it probably would have brought a win for us, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
If that would have happened. I think, but as we always talk about a money grab, it's a business at the end of the day.
True.
Would you want to see the Guardians versus the Astros, or would you want to see? Well, take the bias out of there. Take the Cleveland bias, or would the world want to see the Yankees versus the Astros, the 1 and 2 teams?
I don't think they want to see the Yankees versus the Astros ever again after this sweep.
I mean, but I'm just saying, but you got to think prior to this, it was 1 and 2, number 1 versus number 2, the whole season. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So if I was batting,
it would have been a better story.
It would have been a great story.
The small ball team that changed its name to fight against racism makes it to the World Series, and our small ball might have been some trouble for Houston as well.
It was a beautiful story, but it's not a money story. This is business. This is.
But it tugs at the heartstrings.
Oh man, my heart is not making money. I feel your heart. I feel you. Like I said, this is beautiful. Where is the greed in that? You gonna make a movie 20 years later about the Guardians, the new money ball? Come on, they don't care about that right now. They want that money.
I know, and it didn't work. And the money happened, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
And it's over. And the Yankees got swept.
They did.
You know why they got swept, though? I knew they was gonna get swept. I knew they did. The moment that game got changed that Monday, because if it would have been that Monday, we would have won.
We would
have
won.
Yeah.
But the minute that they changed it, and the Yankees had to play 4 games in 5 days with 1 rest day, and then Astros been off for almost a week. Neither team would have won that. The Guardians or the Yankees, they were not winning that series. They were not winning that series with only 1 day rest in the ALCS.
Mm-hmm. Well, Houston was sitting pretty rested, and
Houston
the World Series
4 or 5 pitchers. They didn't even start the same pitcher twice.
Yeah, they just that deep.
No way we was beating.
And then the World Series don't even start until Friday, so you still got all this time.
I got the Phillies.
I got the Phillies too.
I got the Phillies. They're the hottest team in baseball. They got the best 3, 4, 5. They got the best 3, 4, 5 lineup. JT, Bryce Harper, and Rice Hopkins. Only thing they weakness is they bullpen. That's the only thing they got. They bullpen is they weakness.
I'm about to say now, and I'm going against the odds. I'm going with the Astros, and that's because of the bullpen. I'm strictly going the defensive side on this one.
Well, this is what happened last year with Atlanta. Atlanta had the worst record going into the playoffs, and they got hot at the right time, and they, was able to win the World Series. So I was rooting for the Padres because the Padres ain't never won a title before, and they were getting hot, but they ran into Philly, who was just, blowing the cover off the ball. Kyle Schwarber, is getting it done, hitting home runs, and, Philly's pitching is good too. Wheeler being one of their starters, so I am going for the Phillies as well. I don't care who wins at this point. I hated the Yankees. I hate the Astros, but I'm just so happy that I got a chance to see the Yankees get swept. So that's all I cared about.
I'm going to stay with the Americans on this one because I just think we got this one. Philly is, man, that's a power team. As far as their bats go, they're powerful. But I really think it's going to come down to pitching. And if it's coming down the pitching, I don't see Philly winning if it comes down the pitching. Philly pitching is very weak on their. That's probably the weakest spot on their, like you said, weakest spot on their team right now is their pitching. Where you got the Astros is their pitching is good, their bats are hot. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a nice World Series. I mean, yeah, I'd rather have the Guardians there, but it's gonna be a nice World Series, and I really do think the Astros gonna come out on top. Out of 7 games, I'm gonna give them Astros in 6.
Okay, Astros in 6. All
Yeah.
right, Justin Verlander can be beat up though. He got beat up a little bit in that series against Seattle.
Seattle.
You know, they got to, especially that first game where they should have won it but didn't. And did he pitch at all in that New York series?
No.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember him pitching at
that's
all.
that's what we were just saying. Like they didn't go to a second rotation yet. So now this will be the first game where you get your I guess your front rotation back of pitching. Because I don't think none of their if I'm mistaken, you had let me see, you had 1, 2, 3. Then they swept. So this will be their first time back. All their pitchers back. So with that being said, I gotta give it to the Astros in 6. I don't see them losing because, like I said, they're all around team. Like there's no real holes in their team. Like you tell me where there's a hole in their team, I'm like, I can argue against it. So right now, I don't see them losing overall. I don't see them losing. It can go either way, but I'm gonna stick to that. I'm gonna stick to the Astros in 6.
Marshawn, what you got? The Phillies and what?
Phillies in 6.
Phillies in 6. I'll go with the Phillies in 6 as well.
Phillies in 6. They're gonna win it in front of them. They're gonna win it at Citizens Bank Park. Bryce gonna get his first ring that he's rightfully due. And yeah.
See, that's a little bit. Y'all want that love story, man. Like, his first ring. I want that love story, man. Y'all listen. This is a sport, man. This ain't a love story, man. This ain't happening, man. This ain't happening.
I don't care who win at this point.
You
know.
Think, though, like that point, like
well, Dusty Baker, you got a black coach because Philly doesn't have any black players on their roster. Mm-hmm. Houston Astros have one, which is Michael Brantley, and Dusty Baker is a black head coach. So you want him to win one. Dusty won as a player, but you want him to win as a manager as well. He's turned that program around since the cheating schedules and cheating scandal. Y'all still think they cheating? Oh. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. They all cheat. They all cheat.
You ain't cheat, you ain't
trying. Everybody cheat.
Like,
so
hate. Like I say, we're hating. Y'all hate because y'all didn't do it.
They just got caught.
That's it.
In a major way.
It's not like let's be honest. Most teams is not all is cheating in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, the Guardians probably out there cheating. I wouldn't even know. You know exactly. Man. So yeah. So it'll be an interesting series. So I'll be watching, but not till Friday night. Yeah.
I know we mad that it ain't our squad though, but it's gonna be like
super duper salty.
Like as a baseball fan, it's gonna be this.
I'm super salty. But a few minutes left. We got about 5 minutes left. Cleveland Cavaliers, fellas, is Donovan Mitchell as good as advertised?
No.
See what he's averaging? Go ahead, let me hear it.
First, how many?
No.
Listen, Donovan Mitchell to me is an ISO player. It's very rare that he's going to get all of his teammates involved.
Okay.
My man, Jared Mobley. My man, Evan Mobley with a pick and roll with Mobley. Yeah, Mobley out there looking like AD trying to shoot jumpers and stuff. He going to get his points. They could probably going to win, but y'all going to see him. They need my guy DG back. They need Garland back bad.
Yeah, they do. You're missing Garland. But I think they're still learning how to figure things out and how to insert him and what role he's going to play in that offense. And right now, he's having to score like that though. But you don't got DG, so the onus falls on him a little bit more to do a little bit more.
But he shouldn't have to. You got a team. You got Evan Mobley out there who was the runner-up. We can agree he should have won Rookie of the Year. And he looked like he regressing early in the season. We only 3 games in. You really can't. you can take it with a grain of salt. I don't really care about the NBA until after Thanksgiving.
I'm about to say that.
But
Mine is an All-Star break.
I mean, what I seen right now is he put up 37. That's good bank, good ball.
I care
good
right
ball.
now.
But
No, because it don't matter. Like, you really see the team that's in the All-Star
at
break.
the end of the day, man, Donovan Mitchell gonna always remembered as the guy who got Jalen Brunson paid. Just remember that.
Okay, so now this is my thing about that. Like, Donovan Mitchell is balling right now. Now, can he get his team involved more? Yes, but you understand, this is I wasn't there with their summer camp. You feel me? So I wasn't there. I'm learning this team. So you gotta give him time to learn the team. Because you gotta understand, when he was in Utah, him and Gobert did that pick and roll. They did, you know what I'm saying?
Can you agree that you got essentially, and this is no disrespect to Jared Allen, but that's like the Dollar General version of Rudy Gobert that we have.
Yeah.
So you would think that you already got that.
But you don't know him though. You understand? I don't know him. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still learning this dude. You feel me? So I don't know he's the Dollar General version of him yet. You know what I'm saying? We know it because we watched him play. So I think getting to that point of when they get to know each other, I say give it to about game 15. Like real talk. Like we got 82 games, give it to about game 15. You'll start seeing that difference of offense that they're gonna be bringing in. You know what I'm saying? Because he's still new to the team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know you. You don't know me. I don't trust you as much as I would trust Gobert because I played with him for so many years. So I trust him. I know he don't know where to be at. But when that trust get there, I guarantee you're gonna see a different team.
Yeah. Situational basketball, is like like he is trying to figure what he wants to do with the ball against certain players, what our defense can go, where people need to be at and stuff like that. You mentioned, Evan Mobley in the pick and roll. Those things are coming as he learns to trust Evan and learns, what is Evan good at? Can he put him in a situation for success? So I think that those things are common and they're not here just yet because we're only 3 games in. But guess what? You got that West Coast trip coming up. Instead of it being in January like it always is after the holidays, you got it coming up second week of the season. So you go on the road and you play all these West Coast teams. So I think, it'll be pretty much a instant learning opportunity with what he's playing with. And, those things will come together. Like you said, he need DG back.
I still believe there'll be a 6 seed. As high as it's gonna get. I don't think.
I'm around 6 seed as well.
I think they'll be the 3rd best team. I don't think they're gonna be better than Chicago. I don't think they'll be better than Milwaukee. 6 seed.
I have 5, 6.
I got them high. I got them 1, 2, and 3.
We gotta go.
Tell me, I think I got Brooklyn number 1. I got Brooklyn. Even though Brooklyn's struggling right now, I think Brooklyn number 1. I got Brooklyn.
The Bucks.
I got the
Boston.
No, I think better than Boston.
I give you that. They better than Boston. They are better than. I think Boston will be. Boston is going to be a play-in team.
I think we're better than Chicago. Chicago will be that. Chicago will be that team who's going to be that. It's going to either be we better than them or they better than us. It's going to be a back and forth. It ain't going to be just a straight up they better than us type team. So I think we can be number 3.
And about the Heat.
They better than
the
Heat. They better than Heat. I think they better.
Our team is good, man. Y'all like really good. Like really watch them. They're really good. They're just young.
Yeah, we ain't gonna be no playing game.
No.
But for the First Lady, for Marshawn, for Eddie, you've been listening to her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM, and we out of here. I thought your mic was on the whole damn time. No.
I
heard myself.
I heard you.
That's what I was really low.
To be a 3 seed, they got to win the season.